Now, in our first story, a Mesa County deputy is recognized for springing into action after some wild weather created an emergency situation. While traveling with his family near Amarillo, Texas, Deputy Phillip Peterson came upon a terrible traffic crash and took matters into his own hands. Tonight, for the first time, we hear directly from Deputy Peterson, along with fellow emergency responders who say his efforts made a big difference. Kyle Kawamoto has the story.
There goes a saying that not a lot of people can be heroes without wearing a cape. One Grand Junction resident and his family were able to be those heroes for people in the Texas Panhandle.
He was the MVP of the whole accident. Without him and his U-Haul, it would have been way worse.
On March 14th, Mesa County Deputy Phillip Peterson was traveling with his family in Amarillo, Texas, where a terrible sandstorm caused a 44-car pileup.
These casualties could have turned into respiratory distress calls.
Peterson tells me he noticed cars piling up and then pulled off into the median. And from there, him and his family sprung into action.
And we're just rotating people in and out as the ambulances are moving people out and getting them to the hospitals. As soon as we make room, we bring more people in. And eventually we got to the point where we just needed to try and get out of there altogether versus just triaging people in the back of the U-Haul in the storm.
From the video, you can see sand blowing at 80 miles per hour.
And the blowing dirt conditions were so intense, the guys had sealed goggles that they were wearing to operate in, and just the small gaps around those goggles would allow so much dirt in that they would start filling up.
After rotating patients in and out, Canyon fire officials say 18 patients were saved that day. Peterson left his belongings without a second thought.
And they needed a shelter. We needed to get them out of it, and the U-Haul was the only plausible option at that time.
Peterson's wife and oldest son were taken to the hospital, and during that time, his other children stayed to help.
My son that went with my wife in the ambulance, apparently, he was scared during the whole situation, obviously.
In the aftermath, it was then fire agencies in the Texas Panhandle worked on a plan to help Peterson and his family to get them home. The fire agencies paired up with the American Red Cross and the Canyon Firefighters Association did something that Peterson will never forget.
That's whenever it kind of started setting down with me that, like, man, this guy just discarded every piece of property that we had in the back of that thing.
And through a process, the association was able to cover his rental car expenses to get them back home.
Amarillo Fire, they met us at the Walmart and they gave us a check for $1,000 to kind of help with getting some things that we had left behind in the storm. And once again, I'm extremely grateful to Amarillo Fire and Canyon Fire for stepping up and helping us to get home and everything that they did.
And fire officials from Canyon and Amarillo fire departments tell me there were a couple patients who were in critical condition, but no fatalities happened from that crash. Reporting in studio, I'm Kyle Kawamoto.